In wrestling, one of the most mind-blowing moments happens when you find out a fact about a superstar or a match that you've never heard before and you've been watching them for years. So in today's video, we will be checking out 10 wrestling facts that will blow your mind from none other than What Culture Wrestling. If you aren't already subscribed to them, show them some love, give them a sub, and let's get to the video. Go ahead and do that, because I know it's going to be good.
From insanely poor pay-per-view records to masterful in-ring technicians being left without one of the most esteemed honors in the game. Brace yourselves, because these jaw-dropping facts are about to leave you needing a serious lie down. I'm Gareth from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 insane wrestling
Shout out to What
facts
Culture,
that
man.
will blow your mind. Number 10, John Cena still isn't a Grand Slam champion.
What?
When looking back at the pantheon of
Wow, okay.
greats to have ever laced up their boots, or sneakers in this case, a solid number of said legends have had the honor of becoming Grand Slam WWE champions.
Yeah, 'cause The
However,
Miz done it
despite
twice.
seemingly never going longer than a month or two without a belt being thrown onto his person throughout the majority of his career as part of the biggest wrestling promotion on the planet, none other than the face that runs the place is still without a place in the Grand
Wow.
Slam Hall of Fame.
I
Over
never
the
knew
years,
that. So
Super
what's-
Cena has earned everything
he
from
missing the
United
IC title?
States Championships to tag team gold as part of WWE's
He's gotta be
typical
missing the IC
odd couple
title.
trope, alongside the likes of David Otunga and The Miz as just two examples. And he's of course held a world title a whopping 16 times. But that elusive Intercontinental belt has still not found its way into John's possession. And if SummerSlam 2021 was anything to go by, Cena's time where he could have realistically won the strap may be up. Number 9, Seth Rollins has more successful Raw women's title defenses than 5-time champ Sasha Banks.
What?
At a glance, you may find yourself racking your brains for the time Seth Rollins overcame the odds in the Women's Royal Rumble and marched straight into WrestleMania to conquer Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. As we all know, that honor was actually the architect's eventual wife's. However, what you may not have realized is that the star who walked out of that building as the Universal Champion technically holds a successful defense of the Red Brand's women's belt, coming during the Extreme
That is right. That is right. I do remember this now.
Rules
Wow.
2019 winner-takes-all match, involving the happy couple taking on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Rollins and Lynch managed to do the business
Oh, yeah,
on
that's
the
when
back
she
of
had
the
Seth's name
Universal
on her
champ,
butt.
nailing Corbin with a stomp. That victory subsequently means that Rollins actually owns one more Raw Women's title defense than 5-time champ Sasha Banks, who famously has never successfully retained the red strap in a contest. Number 8, Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle have never earned a Wrestling Observer Newsletter 5-star match rating.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. How has Kurt Angle or Daniel Bryan never got a 5-star match rating? That's the authority. I blame the authority.
Now, I'm not suggesting that Dave Meltzer's 5-star rating system should be taken as gospel by any means.
nah.
Some would even suggest he's gone a little off the rails in modern times, completely destroying said system with 5+, 6, and even 7-star scores over the last few years. However, there's no questioning the fact that a 5-star nod from the Wrestling Observer Newsletter man is seen as a prestigious milestone to those plying their trade in the industry. That being said, just being one of the greatest workers of your generation
Ain't no
isn't
way,
a
bro.
guarantee that you'll walk away with this accolade when all is said and done.
So I'm interested to know, what did he give? Because I mean, I don't know how long he's been doing it, but what did he give the match between the Iron Man match? Because a lot of people have the Iron Man match between Kurt Angle and Brock as one of the best, if not the best. And then also his match with Shane. Like, what?
That's Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan. Despite putting on all-time classics against the likes of Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and Brock Lesnar, these technical wizards are still without a Meltzer 5-star rated match on their resumes. In the case of Bryan, that could all very much change in the not-too-distant future.
Oh, yeah,
But
with
when
him
it
and
comes to
MJF?
Angle, the record will always show that this Olympic hero never quite claimed full marks from
You know what? I do need to look that up, because this video is a year old. Obviously, Kurt's not putting on any more matches, but that MJF Iron Man match with Daniel Bryan, to me, was one of the best Iron Man matches that I've ever seen. I gotta go back. I gotta let it age. I'm not gonna have too much recency bias. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest of all time, but that was a very, very good match.
From the famous wrestling voice. Number 7, Jinder Mahal's WWE Championship reign was longer than all of Edge's combined.
What is happening? What? Are you serious? No disrespect to Jinder, but bro.
He may hold the title of being the most decorated star in the history of WWE. Sorry, R-Truth. But it doesn't take much to see clearly that Edge's combined reigns as WWE Champion were actually dwarfed by one of the most divisive title runs in recent memory. Jinder Mahal reigned as your defending WWE Champion for a whopping 170 days when all was said and done.
Bro.
For comparison, the Rated R superstar, even though he enjoyed 4 separate spells with the spinner title, only held on to the same prize for 139 days in total, with 3 of those runs only lasting 21 days each. Sure, in general, those watching the era which saw Edge go toe-to-toe with the likes of John Cena, Triple H,
Listen,
Shawn Michaels,
don't
Jeff
matter.
Hardy, and Randy Orton,
Doesn't matter.
will
Edge's
likely
reign,
have fonder memories of
all
the
his
title
reigns were
being
better.
defended, albeit unsuccessfully for the most part. But no one can ever take away the fact that the modern-day Maharaja had possession of the strap for longer in the end. Number
That's
6,
crazy.
Mansoor went 49 matches unbeaten. In
Oh.
typical WWE fashion, what
That
could
was-
have been an
yeah.
unexpectedly brilliant storyline was very quickly squandered once somebody let the boss know what he was actually dealing with. Saudi Arabian star Mansoor went on something of a winning streak, which stretched all the way back to
Is that Daddy Matt Menard from AEW?
September 2019 in the lead up to his Monday Night Raw debut this year. All in all,
Is that the
star
Majin
had been
M?
on the
Oh, that's
losing side
fire.
for a staggering
That's fire.
49 matches. That was until Vince McMahon got wind of this feat. Just like that, instead of capitalizing on a
Bro, Vince always ruins stuff. Leave the man alone. Just because he didn't know that it was an undefeated streak going on, you mean to tell me that he specifically booked him to lose because he found out he was on a win streak? Bro, are you kidding
record
me?
that could have grown into one of the most compelling and unlikely organic underdog tales to have graced the main roster in years. Mansoor picked up an L via DQ thanks to Humberto Carrillo interfering with his match against Sheamus on May 3rd. Mansoor, like recently debuting Raw colleague Karrion Kross, learned the hard way that undefeated streaks mean diddly squat to the man up top. Number 5,
Man.
Snooki has won more WWE pay-per-view matches than Sting. Look, it
my
doesn't take a
God.
genius to come to the conclusion
No, they did
that
not
Sting's
pull
run
Jersey
within Vince
Shore into
McMahon's
this.
Empire was a bit of a letdown. However, once you really dig into the stats behind the WCW Legends spell as part of the WWE roster, well, things get that little bit more depressing in all honesty. Things got off to a positive enough start, producing an all-timer Survivor Series moment as he drilled the game into the mat with a Scorpion death drop in 2014. Yeah, things soon took a turn when it came time for Stinger to get physical in a match, doing the JOB for the KOK
Bro.
at WrestleMania 31. One more pay-per-view defeat would follow. Staring up at the lights post-unsuccessful WWE title
yeah,
challenge
'cause he went up against Seth
Rollins
Rollins
at
and
Night of
Seth
Champions,
almost killed him.
before Sting was forced to leave the squared circle behind due to injury. And while the
Exactly.
legendary figure could at least point to a Mania moment and WWE title match as landmark achievements, his poor pay-per-view record actually means that both Jersey Shore star Snooki and Michael Cole both winning
He's
at
still
WrestleMania
undefeated.
27
Is he
hold
still
more
undefeated?
wins at WWE pay-per-view events than the now all-elite star. Yeesh. Number 4.
Bro, okay, look, I get it. The Monday Night Wars, I understand all of that. Triple H didn't need that W, man. Like, I get it, but he didn't need that W. Like, it was so cool finally seeing the NWO versus DX, but come on, man. Snooki?
Bret Hart nearly jumped to WCW in 1992, though he would eventually and infamously go on to make the jump over to World Championship Wrestling in 1997. Many fans aren't actually aware of the fact that the Hitman very nearly came close to signing with the Enemy 5 years earlier. Before he'd even got hold of the then WWF's prestigious world title, Hart was enjoying a run as the company's Intercontinental Champ. However, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, coming into that year's
I'm so
Royal
mad at
Rumble,
this,
it was
Darth
pretty
Vader
common
or
knowledge that Hart
whatever.
would be leaving the company to join WCW shortly after
Whatever
dropping
that
the
is.
belt to the Mountie. The plan was then for the Hitman to show up at Clash of the Champions with the IC title as a shot back at the WWF for doing the same with Ric Flair and their world title beforehand. Despite being offered a lucrative deal, it soon came to light that Hart's contract with the WWF had actually rolled over, meaning that he'd have to wait several more months to give notice. In the end, he stayed put and was ultimately given the top title and an unprecedented 20-year WWF contract contract a few years later. And the rest, as they say, was history. Number 3, Darby Allin and CM Punk have the same drug-free tattoo. Some things are just destined to be, aren't they? And this next fact feels like another example of all the wrestling
Man, you gotta have
stars
some eyes to
aligning
notice
in the
that,
coolest
too.
way imaginable. Or it could just be a massive coincidence. Either way, Twitter user Captain Ferg was quick to spot that both Darby Allin and CM Punk didn't just share the spotlight coming into All Out. They actually both have the exact same tattoo on their respective hands.
See, it's easy to notice Punk's, I guess, but Darby has so many other like hand tattoos. I don't know if Punk, I had to look, but I don't think Punk has that many hand tattoos. And plus, he made it such a big thing in his gimmick being straight edge, the straight edge society. But I would have never even put those two together. So, I mean, I guess that's he got a good eye.
Slash fingers. With both AEW stars proudly being
because he's got a skull or a skeleton on his
posting ink highlighting
which is
the
fire,
precise
actually.
way of life. Now, you could immediately pour water on this whole thing by pointing out the fact that it's fairly common for those who follow a straight edge lifestyle to get these letters tattooed on their knuckles. But the fact that Allin was first in line for the best in the world on the back of a 7-year absence, and just so happens to be one of the few dudes in the industry who follows a way of life that Punk has become synonymous with, feels like wrestling fate at its finest. Number 2, WWE referees used to get bonuses for calling it like it's real. In the midst of recalling what he classed as his worst match ever, Cody Rhodes let loose a little-known fact about life as a WWE referee a few years ago. Coming during a Being the Elite Q&A on YouTube, the American Nightmare recalled a match involving himself and a number of other WWE stars, including the likes of Daniel Bryan, Ted DiBiase Jr., Ezekiel Jackson, Wade Barrett, and the original Sin Cara. With the match eventually devolving into chaos due to Cara's language barrier with the rest of the field, the referee ultimately counted to 3 after DiBiase was knocked down by a dropkick and pinned by Bryan. Despite DiBiase attempting to kick out, the ref didn't spot his shoulder off the mat and called the botched ending. Rhodes would then reveal that this was back when refs were paid a bonus for committing to a 3 count if stars weren't able to convincingly kick out before the 3. Hilariously, the former Legacy member would go on to confess that DiBiase reacted to this mistake by screaming out, "That ref was trying to F on me," as soon as he got backstage. Number 1, CM Punk is the same age now as NWO Hogan was.
Wow,
On the surface,
really?
CM Punk and Hulk Hogan are wrestling chalk and cheese. However, the two do remarkably share something in common.
Yo, I didn't realize Hogan was, I didn't know he was that old when he defected to the NWO. Because that was like in 96? So he was what, 40 something? Wow, wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure they're going to tell us now, but what?
Uncensored spotted recently. At the glorious age of 42 years on this planet, both men cut arguably their most important promo ever in front of the masses, forever changing the business in the process. In Hogan's case, his game-changing words came at the tail end of 1996.
Bro, we know Hogan was juiced up.
His Bash at the Beach. Going from squeaky clean babyface to ultra cool NWA anti-hero after beating down the Macho Man and joining up with Nash and Hall. Whilst few will ever forget the sight of Punk finally embracing his hometown and declaring he was back and better than ever in the land of All Elite at August the First Dance. 2 polar opposite individuals, 2 polar opposite promos, but both remarkably at the exact same stage of their lives. Fancy that? And that's our list of any other insane wrestling facts that will blow your mind. Let us know all about them.
Hey, that is crazy. I had no idea that Hogan was, because I was like 6 years old when that happened. I didn't even know about that and how much that heel turn meant until I got older. But I had no idea he was 42 when he did that, because he had a career after. I mean, the NWO, that was like in the, the beginning of WCW and WWE feuding, because I mean WCW was shooting shots at WWE, and then they pretty much changed the trajectory of WWE. Like the Attitude Era comes off of the back of that, DX comes off of the back of that. Like there's so many things that happen due to the nature of WCW changing their type of programming. And the fact that Hogan was 42 years old when that happened, that is nuts. I had no idea. And then, so there was so much more to happen in Hogan's career leading up to his match at WrestleMania with The Rock, and so much more on the back end of his career, whereas we don't know what Punk's status is right now. He's just technically getting paid to be in AEW because of that whole situation. And wow. Now that that puts a exclamation mark on how long Hogan's career really was, or like how long it stretched out, because there were some highs and lows. But that is mind blowing. Wow, yeah, you called that one. Out of all of these, which one was the most mind blowing to you? And if you have any mind blowing facts, let me know in the comments, because I love finding out little stuff like this, especially like I said, after the time has passed and years later after watching it for so long. So this was a good video. Definitely go ahead, sub to that channel if you have not, because they always come. Like I said, this was a year ago. So wow, appreciate you guys for watching, man. Appreciate any likes, any subs. We're almost at 100 subs. I think I'm like 4 away. If you guys have watched this far into the video, definitely I'm live streaming now sidecast and watch alongs on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Come kick it with your boy. But until next time, I will see you all back in the ring. Peace.